Hi everybody, Tim Bartz, your Ford video guy, with a video that I haven't done a video in a long time, but I've been doing a lot of Bronco videos on Lon MacArthur's channel. So if you haven't checked that one out, you definitely need to check it out at Lon MacArthur Ford. And we got a Built Wild Wednesday Bronco video playlist going there, where every Wednesday we're dropping some Broncos content. And a lot of videos I would do on this channel, I've been doing over there. So I have still been doing the videos, it's just kind of relocated. But in this video, I want to kind of talk a little bit about modifications that I would do again or I wouldn't do again. So in this video, hopefully it'll help out if you're thinking of putting some of these things on your Bronco, or whether or not I like it or I wouldn't do it again. So hopefully you guys get something out of this video. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of our other videos. And I got another video that's shortly going to be coming along of different modifications you can do for under $150 each. So I say modifications, they're really accessories, but some of them do include an install. So that's where the modification comes in. But let's get into this and talk about some of the things that I've done to the Bronco and whether or not I do them again. Now on the front up here, of course this was a Big Ben, but you know, the grill replacement, definitely would probably do it again. I'm not a huge fan of certain grills like the Big Ben with the open holes. I like this one. I like the black diamond grill. So if I ever got one where it wasn't the grill I liked, but everything else was, I would definitely purchase that Bronco and switch out the grill. So that is something definitely I'm glad that I did. This modular front bumper, also glad that I replaced it. Now you can get that from the factory, so that's something you can put on your build now. Doesn't hold anything up, so definitely I probably would add that if you're thinking about, if you're on the fence on it. I do like the modularity of this, being able to put light bars on it, winches, or whatever you want, different lights. So I'm a big fan of that. These IAG lights. So I wanted a little note on this. IAG 5 light system. I do enjoy these lights, and I will tell you that I probably would do it again. But with full disclosure, I want to let you know that if you do install these, you're going to get a lot of people that think that you have your bright lights on. They are that bright that with your headlights and these on, because they work with your headlights, people will put your brights on because they think your brights are on. So just full disclosure, be prepared for people hitting your lights on that. Other people with those have said the same thing, but I would get them again. I would. I really do like them. Now, underneath on the skid plates, so I added the ARB skid plates to this. I probably would not go that route if I was doing it over again. Actually replaced some of those with these IAG skid plates. You'll see it here, and that's probably the route I would go. I do like the IAG skid plates. These first two are IAGs. I also have their lower control arm and their rear shock skid plates too. And I'm needing the lower control arm. So IAG, if you want to send them to me, little plug there. But I do like that, and I would go that route as well. I like the look of them. That's probably the biggest thing. With this bumper, the ARBs they look terrible. I didn't like it. So I would go that route. So I wouldn't probably go ARB. Nothing wrong with the ARB skid plates. They hold up, they're thick, they're good, and everything else. Nothing wrong with them. It's just, for me, I'd rather have the black ones, like the IAGs, for it to just look better, at least this front one. And I will tell you that the front one doesn't work with the ARB, the rest of the plates. You would have to replace the front one and then I think the engine one to make it right. So to make it look right. But there you go. Would I get the winch? I haven't used the winch yet. I've had it for a couple of years, and I'm glad that I haven't needed to use it. I don't know where any wood is, but knock on wood, I don't need to use it. But yeah, Rough Country does some good stuff. I do like the light bar on the winch, and I don't think many other companies are doing that. So I definitely like, if anything else, if you don't want the winch, this high mount with the light, I would definitely recommend. I do like it, and I like that I'm able to, with that, put those in my auxiliary switches. So I have there are two different switches for the bright light and the DRL, and I definitely would go with their mount, even if you don't want their winch. A lot of the winches will go onto this mount. So in fact, I think I've seen a Bronco that has this mount with his different winch. So anyway, that's definitely something I'd go with. Also, now it's probably a good time to talk about this. This does have the Roush package. I did get that here at the dealership. Now I work at the dealership, and we are a Roush certified dealer. So I got a really good deal on it when it came out because I was able to get it at a dealer cost. And again, this is on my personal channel, so I can say this, I probably wouldn't go with the package the next time. Now, do I like the wheels? Love it. Get a lot of compliments on the wheels. I like the graphics, but I don't know about that. But I definitely would do is I would do the cold air intake that is on this. That is something that I'm a huge fan of. I'm not going to pop this because it's probably dirty under there, but I do like that, and I would do that again. Cold air intake exhaust, top notch. Although Rough Country makes a really good exhaust that I maybe be interested in as well. But I also got the Rough Country hood struts for this. Definitely hood struts is something I would do again, whether it be Rough Country or IAG or anybody else's. Hood struts are fun because I don't have to worry about that little support arm getting in my way if I want to mess with things in there under the engine bay. And then of course this here, definitely something that I would get again. Yes, that is something I would do again. It is fun. I love it. Definitely something I would do over and over again. In fact, we had a short in it at one time, and I thought it was broken, and I was like, well, I'll order a new one, but we ended up, it was just a wire that had come loose. So anyway, so there you go. Now let's move this to the side. Now here on the side, you might ask, would I go with a cloth top again versus a hard top? Yes, I would. I love the cloth top, and I would not probably own a Bronco without a cloth top, ever. In fact, I'm not really looking to get a hard top either. You know, I've looked at different, hard tops. They're $5 for one. I don't have $5 to just spend on one, but for the other, these work just fine. Not having any issues in the winter. Yes, when we get that ice storm, that gets really hard. I just leave it alone. I don't try to open it up. But I don't have any issues, and I've had no issues so far, again, knock on wood, right, with any cracking of these back windows. This is the original factory cloth top, and I can tell you that I flip this back almost every day in the summer, almost every day. It was raining today, but otherwise I don't really, and it's great. I love it. Also, I do have the Best Stop Benemy top on this that has been great. It's a mesh top. But Ford has had some on their website. In fact, it's on this Coastal Bronco behind this one that it actually Velcros onto the side, and I'm really digging that. So that would probably be a switch that I would do if I did that. But I would probably never own a Bronco without a Benemy top either, because it really helps block out the sun, especially if the grandson and all are in the vehicle. So I'll definitely do that again. Now here on the side, rock rails. I like this setup with these rock rails. I tried the power boards, not a huge fan of them. The ones that we had, every time I'd step on them, they'd go down. They just weren't quite right. And I know it probably I got a bad set or something, but I don't know. It's just sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't. You had to have a magnet in there. And anyway, not a huge fan of them. I do like the rock rails though, to help for protection in case something happens and you hit a rock. And these IAG steps also definitely do again. I do like this setup, and probably wouldn't do it differently. Would I want the whole board? No, I actually like the step, because this single steps, if I want to, the board as well, you can take off. Like these have screws under here, so I could take those off if I decide I'm going on the trail. I could take them off and put them back in the Bronco. It's kind of hard to put a full board in the back of the Bronco. So that's my reasoning on that. This graphics we just had done. What do you guys think of it? I like it. I'd probably do again as well, but we'll see what people say at Supercell. We'll see what the reaction we get, but definitely probably do that again on the vehicle too. This does have the Rough Country Vertex shocks. You've seen me do a video probably on those. In a heartbeat, I would do it again. 2 years running these. I love being able to adjust those with the reservoirs, so I would definitely do that. The cost of these Rough Countries and the dependability of them has been top notch. So a lot of people are like, well, you're getting a cheap one, they're not gonna last. Folks, I have been hitting this thing on the trails. This is not a Pavement Princess Bronco. And if you actually saw this in person, you would tell that, because I got all kinds of pinstripes on this. I'm off-roading with this. Maybe not every day, maybe not, 50 times a year, but we have been off-roading probably at least a dozen, if not more like 15 times a year. with this Bronco, with this suspension since I got it. Taking it to Moab, I've did the Wipeout Hill, I've done 7 Mile Rim with it, I've done Hancock Pass 3 times with these shocks. 10 Cup, I can't count how many times we've done 10 Cup. A lot of other trails in Colorado, American Flag Mountain and such. These shocks, I need more thumbs because I would definitely do that again. So I want to make an impact of that because those are some phenomenal shocks. Let's move to the back. Now back here in the back, kind of talking about some things. I do have a tailgate reinforcement by Rough Country. Now I don't know if that's Rough Country, the one I would actually go with. I particularly do have this one, and it's actually pretty inexpensive, less than $100. But I probably, whether I go with Rough Country or not, I would definitely do a tailgate reinforcement. There's some pretty good ones out there. Definitely would probably get one of these as well. I actually have been looking at the turn off-road rear tail light. I'm a big fan of that, and I probably would get that at some point. I might end up with one of those. I do like it. The hitch, of course, if I got another Bronco, it would have a hitch on it because we pull the camper, so that's kind of a no-brainer there. Now, let's open this up. There's a couple things in here. Again, I would do a cloth top again, right? So the question is, would I do the quick release? So this one does have the quick release, so I can pull it. I have, full disclosure again, IAG did not support me in installing of this. So I'm going to say it like it is. I've had a lot of issues with it. So now, with that said, I've also had a lot of great support from them. Their IAG support has been phenomenal. So when I got this installed over a year and about 3 months ago at Supercell, Tennessee, and these right here where they come down and they hit the factory latches here, these were made out of plastic and they broke on me. I think I was in Supercell, Colorado, and I was having to use ratchet straps to keep it down. So that is something that I was like a little disappointed, but luckily they sent me, they said, yeah, we updated the design. We know it was a flaw there. And so here's the updated revised latches. So they sent those to me and free of charge, no cost, and I put them in there. They have been pretty good, but they still get a little out of whack. Sometimes if they're not just perfect, then I struggle with it. So they do advertise that you can pull down one handle and it works. And when I have my camper, I usually have this door right here because that's about as far as I can open it, but I still like to get to my cooler, right? And so then I'm trying to pull it down one handle like this, and it moves over and it doesn't stay level and in there. So probably, to be honest, I do like it. I'm kind of on the fence on whether or not I would get that again. But they definitely need to do some work on that. And again, I got an early one, so we'll just see here. But it is, having the grab handles though are kind of nice. Even if I didn't have this, I'd love to have some sort of way to have the grab handles. So, and then there's struts for the top. Being able to have that, that I would definitely do again. That was one of the first installs that I did. And so the ends, mine are really good now, but they did kind of wear out a little bit, just like the strut here is wearing out. Again, IAG sent me struts that I replaced because they noticed in my video that I did that they were not going up like they should. And so like I had to push it up a little bit. So they sent me replacements, which is nice. And I think they do it for anybody, not just me. So that was really nice to have too. So I do like the struts for that, and I would do that again. Mountains to Metal has two things that I really dig. One of this is a slide out this tailgate. So I do like this tailgate. Probably would do it again as well. This here in the back sometimes rattles, so I have to tighten those down a little bit and get them real tight. So I'll get some rattles out of that. And also I noticed when I'm off-roading sometimes, especially when I have a lot of weight on here, because usually I have my air compressor there, I have this, I have some chairs and stuff in there. I'll feel it like move. I'll hear that little. So that's the only thing that I have wrong with that is the noise of that. And then when that loosens back there, but otherwise I'm really digging it and I like it, and I probably would do it again. The attic tray, I don't think anybody else is doing anything like this except for them. This attic tray is pretty cool by Mountains to Metal as well. And this is something that I really like. I really wish it was quieter. So it does have some sort of, because of the latches on the metal, and I've even wrapped those on some tape, some mechanical tape, and they still get some rattles somewhere. And I don't think I have it overloaded, but I do like, I can, you know, I get my air up and air down stuff up here. I have my, you know, recovery, the tree wrap there. I have ropes here. You know, I have a battery, jump battery. I have, you know, first aid kit. I have all kinds of stuff up here. So I definitely like this and would do it again. And we've gotten used to the sound. I am afraid to say that, but that is something that I would probably do again. And for some reason, oh, there we go. Got that in the way. I would probably definitely do that again as well. Can't think of anything else back here. So a couple things. Oh, tailgate table. I like the tailgate table. I'm always opening this up. Would I go with the OEM one? You can see it broke on me, but I did go over the 25-pound weight limit. I'd probably look at other brands. I'd say Ragnarcon has a really cool one, but I definitely get a tailgate table. Whether I go with the OEM one, probably would not. But right at this point, I'm kind of invested because you had to drill holes into the tailgate. So going one that you have to drill holes in probably would be the thing to go with there, folks. There you go. Now inside, I don't want to get in front of the camera. There's a couple things that I would probably do again. In fact, I'm just going to grab the camera and kind of show you. This fit kit, the Bronco fit kit, works on all Broncos. That is something definitely, you know, I thought I really liked the grab handle. I was going to say, I can't believe they're taking that out of Broncos, but yes, I think it's a good thing because this fit kit is really awesome. I did a video really early on to see if it would work because Ford's website says it won't work for 21 to 24 Broncos, but it does work with those Broncos. So that is something, a modification I would definitely get. Now with my hitch, I have this trailer brake controller. That is something that, yes, I would do again. I like it, and it's definitely worth it. There's times where, you know, I can adjust that up. I usually leave it at about a 2 up there, and I do like that when I'm pulling the camper, and it's very convenient for me as well. So I do have the pull-up point mount. Definitely do again. In fact, we were going off-roading and we had some issues. I think the heat had gotten to this where it wasn't staying in, and one of them came loose and I got a new one. So I definitely like that. I do like that I can mount my my Midland GMRS hand up there. So I like that, and I just kind of mounted that down there for now, but it's actually probably going to stay there, to be honest. But I do like that as well. That is definitely something I'd get. Did I mention the Benemy top? I think I did. I do like that as well. But there's something I want to show you on the other side. So let's go around over there. All right, so over here, this is something that I got from off of Extreme Terrain, and this is something I really like. I use it all the time. I just put my cell phone down in there, and sometimes you'll see that I got a shorty wire. So if my phone's getting low, I can just charge it up. I put gas receipts in there. I love this, and so that way I don't have to use this console area, and usually we'll put snacks down in there. When we're on a road trip, that's usually full of candy and snacks that are sitting right in there. But I do dig that and like that. Now, here in the back, I got a couple things. This is, of course, air compressor. I would, you know, do I like the Ford tire up and down air compressor? Absolutely. Do it again and again. Definitely do that. Also, the Primo works. I do like it. It falls off, but for long trips, I do enjoy being able to rest my arm on that. It kind of goes up there on there, so I can just rest my arm. I definitely would do that again as well. Now, I do have this, the ARB jack, and haven't had to use it, but probably would spend the money to do it. You need a good off-road jack, and that's probably the best way to go. There we go. And it fits under there, under the seat. You can put it in the cargo area, but it won't go, it's too long to go lengthwise. So there you go. IAG cup holders, not a huge fan of them. The reason they're off is because I'm always folding my seat down and then they're in the way. If you can find some that sit up here, I would definitely go that route. So now, by the way, if you're in the market, there's these fans. These fans will actually go right there and mount to the headrest. I don't have vents back here like the 25s do, But I have this that can plug down into the USB, and now those in the back have vents. So yes, so there you go. So when we have people back here, I leave them back here so that we can mount them up if anybody needs them when we're back here. So definitely have that. Now, the IEG dome lights. So IEG was one of the first companies that put the dome lights. Bronco just doesn't have very good light, especially on the 21. So the dome lights I added to this. One of the first modifications I did, along with the strut in the back for the top. So those are something I do. I do have the relay switch because I got a Gen 1. So that way when I actually hit my light inside, my overhead light, then these will come on. Also, I have this one back here that it's a touch light. So when the doors are shut and everything, I can just touch it, and it's an overhead light for those that are in the back seat. Also allows me to be able to see, because there's two lights for the back cargo area, so I can see in the cargo area too. So definitely something I would probably get again. I do like it, both of those. I do wish that this fit a little bit better, the fit and finish was better, but anyway, that's my only complaint on it. But there you go. So there we have it. There are all the different modifications we've had done to the Bronco since we got it, and a lot of these I would do again. You know, I've talked about a couple that probably wouldn't, but you know, a lot of them I thought through before I got it, especially the expensive stuff. I'm like, would I do that? Do I want to pay for that? You know, I'm like, you know, I don't really, you know, I'm not going to do it unless I'm going to pay for it, right? So there's some things to think about there, but I did give you a list of some things that I've added on things I would do and wouldn't do again. So hopefully you guys did get something from this. Don't forget, make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification turned on, and hopefully we see you guys at Bronco Supercell in Colorado. That is coming up. Hope you guys are going to be there, and if you are, come by. We're going to have a booth on Saturday, but we're also going to hit the trails on Thursday, Friday. If you want to go out with us on Friday, let me know. You can check it out on social media and everything, and just check us out and find us at the show as well that morning, and before we head out, and you can join us if you want. So all right, that's all I have for this video. I'm going to be doing a video again on the mods that I did that are under $150, and separate those out into a video. If you're interested in some cheap things that you want to add to your Bronco, then you can do that, or find gifts. Christmas is around the corner, believe it or not. But anyway, that's all I have for this one. Stay positive, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself. See you guys in the next video.